tell us a little bit about, what is your strategy for finding and keeping great housekeeping professionals or cleaning professionals? And especially in a competitive market, right? You guys are all operating in pretty high volume destinations. So what are your tips and tricks around finding the right people?
We'll do test cleans, and we're always very upfront with each other. What are you looking for? Are you looking to just work the busy season? I try really hard when I'm hire people that want to work all year long, and to not hire too many people so I have the work to give them all year long. Honestly, it's treating people like people, to treat them well, and to do the things that we promise, pay them what they deserve, what you say you're going to. We don't have cleaner turnover. We have the same cleaners we've had for years, and I'll hire on, one or two extra companies, but we'll keep them. And it's just treating them well.
Oh, I totally agree with Cassie. I mean, I was lucky enough when I came to this company, there were cleaners here that had been working here for years. They know these houses, they know what needs to be done in the houses. I work hard to have that relationship with them that they know I want to look out for them. I want them to keep coming back. I want them to feel heard. If they have things going on, I want them to know that I'm going to do my best to take care of whatever that issue is. And, I think we all need to recognize too, I mean, at the end of the day, they want to get paid for the effort that they put in, and they deserve, you know, whatever the most I can possibly give them that they won't yell at me for. That's what I want to do, because they work really hard and they do it day after day, year after year. And they honestly make my job much easier than it should be.
Yeah, I agree with that. Compensation is a huge thing. It's making sure that they are paid what they are valued at the same time. If you're, I mean, profiting off of housekeeping is a tough job. If you can do it and you're in a resort market, it's great. But at the same time, it should never be at the expense of the people that work for you, because doing 2 and 3 cleans a day, I would challenge anybody who thinks it's easy to do that during busy season, and tell me how you feel at the end of busy season. And also in the same instance, if they miss one minor thing, that's why you have inspectors. That's why you pay them, because they are human. They are going to make that mistake. And if you're not using inspectors, you should be. We have arrival inspectors, and they catch so many things. And it's not things that the cleaners didn't do or shouldn't be paid for. It's just things that they're trying to get out of that house to get to the next house so we can get that turn. So at the same time, trying to balance everything and then also keep them happy is essential. So same thing, we treat them exactly like they should be treated, with respect. During busy season, we do a lot of incentives. Big days, we bring in lunch, or we'll bring in breakfast or something like that. I want to encourage them to keep up their energy, so they're not, oh, I didn't have lunch, I need to stop, and oh, I forgot this. It's one of those things where, it's just letting them know that we care about them. We care
Yeah.
about their well-being along the way.
Well, and I think we've heard this. I remember, gosh, I mean, this is probably like 3 years ago. Maybe it was more than that, because I feel like it was like in the height of, it was just after COVID. And we were talking about like motivating your team, right? Because I think that that one thing is really clear that carried through on all of your answers, right? It's respecting your team, making sure that they understand not only how valuable the work that they do is, but also that they understand how valuable or how much the work that they do impacts the greater good and success of the company. But I think it's also about, like, oftentimes we think about, like, how do we motivate our team? How do we help them, like, want to be here and feel good about the work that they're doing? And I shared this with you guys when we talked earlier. And I'll share it again. I shared it last week at a conference. This is going to be the, like, teaser that everyone knows about our state of work report that's coming out next month. But the responses that we got when we asked people why they do the work that they do was truly about care, like their legitimate personal care for what needs to happen for the greater good of their company. And it wasn't about like getting a paycheck. And so I think compensating people, obviously, if you're not compensating them well, you're not going to get them in the first place. But once you have them, making sure that that they're getting recognition specifically. And I love that you said that, Stephanie, not just when they miss something, that they're not being told what you didn't do right, but that they're getting that recognition throughout the entire time that they're doing the work, and for little things that go well, or when they go above and beyond. But when we were having that webinar, so often people think I have to do this big grandiose thing to have an impact. It doesn't have to be, right? Lunch, cold bottles of water, popsicles. There was a woman in Maine who just wrote quick, like handwritten notes, like little just post-it notes, and they put them in like little baggies with snacks and gave them out, right? Like this is hard work. Jennifer, you said it. This is really hard, laborious work. Let's have some fun while we're doing it. We want to make sure that all of the work is done correctly, but let's, if you can have a laugh or smile or work with somebody that you feel appreciated by. That's going to sort of go a long way. And again, when you have those hard turnover days, that's what's going to make people work throughout a team. Let's talk a little bit. This has come up a couple times. I'm monitoring the chat too, which I love how everybody's just interacting with everyone within there as well. But this has come up a couple times here as well around SOPs and standards. And so once you find this person, and I think it's worth noting that it takes a special human to be a vacation rental cleaning professional. It is not, I think about I have a lovely woman who cleans my house, but she's not opening my drawers. She's not looking under my beds. She's not doing 1,000 of the things that your teams are doing on a daily basis. So once you find someone and once you've hired them and you've given them the comp and you make them feel valued, how do you continue to train them and not, from day one, but just throughout the process? Like SOPs change, brand expectations change. How do you get them up to speed for the level of which your company, the level of expectations of your companies?
Well, I would say, first of all, training them in standard operating procedures, working with them. Obviously, it's not just my team that is out in the field, our inspectors. It's all of us. So when we bring somebody in and we train them, we have one specific person that starts with training them. They know the standard operating procedures. It is passed then along to that said property specialist. I also do a 30-day, what you call a, there's no necessarily bad remarks made during that time. We are going to improve upon this. This is what we do. You're doing it this way. Here's a better way. One of the things that we talk about is work smarter, not harder, stuff like that. We give the cleaners, property specialists 30 days to get their feet underneath of them. And we're not talking about turns. I will not give a turn to a new hire. I will keep them in a place where they can spend that time, because it takes time. You need to have that adequate time to build up that speed, because they are going to make mistakes. We know that. So it's making sure we follow through. I know, for example, I try to drop it in all my cleaners every single week. I'm stopping in a place. I want to say hi. I want them to see if they have any questions. I want to know exactly what's happening. Is there anything that we can do better? What can we do to help you? What can we do to help you help us? Because that's what it comes down to. So, so for me in that perspective, other than we have some written documents, and for changes, we do have a group thread. We also use Slack, so everybody's aware of something that's changing that same day. Couple of things I've done in previous jobs is we do have operating procedures that are immediate, and so red light, green light, you know what I mean? Yellow light, yellow light, slow down. Green light means, hey, this is effective immediately or next week. Red light means let's stop the brakes. So Could be anything from, hey, we've seen too many pillows that are yellow or something of that nature. We need to swap them out. You know, those examples. But it's just having that communication constantly with your team because it's so crucial for them. What they don't know, they can't read our minds and we can't read theirs. So that's what we use over here. So
I love that. 30 days of constructive feedback, not criticism, is huge.
yes.
Somebody in the chat that said we learn by making mistakes. And I think one of you said it, I didn't write down who it was, but you know, having inspectors that are following your housekeepers mean that if you learn by making a mistake, the guest doesn't feel that mistake.
Exactly.
What about Jennifer, Cassie, anything from a training perspective that you want to add? I know there was, Stephanie covered a lot of really great insight, but anything else there?
When we're hiring cleaners, we'll do a test clean, and I will personally train the head of the cleaning company. So we hire cleaning companies, and they'll get their housekeeping training manual. So it shows them how the amenities are set up, you know, how many towels, it shows them all this stuff, the bed, how to fold the beds. And then it's up to them to train their people. But of course we come by, we build bonds with them, we'll check up, make sure that they're have everything they need. So, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. And we stay on track with them, you know, like, hey guys, I fixed this time, you know, but let's pay attention to the oven next time, or, you know.
Well, I think that in this, I think that in this part of the business, people are always trying to move quickly. And again, someone said it earlier, right? But everyone who's doing this job is human. These are not robots. They aren't programmed to go in and do these things in this particular order. But I think that like you guys have both said, like you'll stop in, you'll see them. And I think that that speaks volumes to the culture that you've built within your organizations, because people don't feel like you're stopping in to like catch them doing something, right? You're stopping in to help them, to move them forward, to advance their skills, to learn from them. And you know, there's been some comments in the chat too around like, I want my team to be involved. I want that feedback. So I love, you know, I love